the Will Clayton Church of Christ. This is June the 14th, 2020. This will be part 1 of the message. And the message is so necessary, it's so huge, there'll be a part 2 this evening. So we can get the lesson pretty well complete. Because when I get into it, I think you're going to be able to leave here, or whoever's listening, and you'll be able to accept, I see why things are like they are. From everything I've seen, I got it. And then you'll be able to look in the mirror, this mirror, and you'll be able to say, I see why I'm like I am. I got it, God. You say, is this some ultimate message? All messages are ultimate. And it may be the last one you hear. All messages are ultimate. And it may be the last one you hear. If it's from truth. But we will be held accountable for it. How can we understand the dark sayings of the wise? That's the message. How can we understand the dark sayings of the wise? The wise say dark stuff. And you would think, well, man, is God trying to trick me? Is he trying to make it where he doesn't want me to get it? Well, that would depend on if before you hear the message, did you want to know? Isn't that amazing? See, before you hear the message, if you didn't want to know, it's going to be black as the darkness was in Egypt, where it was so black they could feel it. See, God can make darkness be felt. Yeah, the thought of darkness. And they could not see each other. No matter how close you got to someone, it was so dark you couldn't see them. You could hug them. You tell them, I can't see. Israel was light, bright white, just like always. So you don't think God can protect you? You don't think God could have protected you to come to worship? But he can make it dark and then light in another area. Isn't that amazing how we think? So, the mission of this message is to teach wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. This message, as all message, is for saints and sinners and the ungodly. See, that's 3 people Peter mentioned. He says the righteous, saint, the sinner, and the ungodly. He summed it up into 3 different groups. The last 2 are in trouble. The first group barely makes it in, he says, scarcely be saved. Because he has to give us mercy. But it's going to look at the heart to make sure it's deserving mercy. How's it going to act in heaven? Is it going to clown me like Satan did? Because I had him up there too. And he's greater than I made them. See, you can't forget that. That's why you got to go to church. Because when you go to law, say, well, you know, I was busy, I just didn't have time. He's going to say, that's okay. I've got footage of other people telling you at your job. You remember when you caught that bus? The Hiram Clark 193? You caught that one? Remember that bus driver? That was one of my children. You remember the stuff he told you? See, dealing with God. Dealing with God. Dealing with God. Always be ready. He's going to always be ready for the judgment. We can understand the dark sayings of wise by wisdom and faith in the instructions and warnings of the scripture. Oh yeah, you can get, it's just like baby talk when you get it. Even the stuff that's hard to be understood. Peter said, that's some things hard to be understood. But he says, guess who wrestles with it? The unlearned. I didn't go to church. I didn't study. Or the unstable. I went to church and studied, but I didn't like the messages. I didn't like grandma, what she told me. You know, we have to understand, we have difficult situations before us now. We've just got over a terrible loss of Sister Bertha. Terrible, horrible loss. And before we can heal up real good, Satan strikes again and takes two souls that we knew and loved, Tiffany and Jada, a mother and the son, a 25-year-old and a 3-year-old. Do you think God didn't understand how old they were? One is a woman of age, like me, a woman seasoned and been in church for a long time. Here go two, and one hasn't even been able to get old enough where can comprehend the gospel itself. Gone. See, what did we say Sunday before we left? I remember it clearly. Love each other, because you do not know if that's the last time you'll see it. Am I a prophet? No. One brother said when he got up, his uncle or a relative of his of some sort went to the store not to buy a drug, but to get some milk for the children. Milk necessary for the children to continue to develop and grow. He was robbed by an assailant and killed. So you be careful, me too, about talking about police. Because I'm going to tell you something. I love my wife and my son and my daughter, and I love my parents and my brothers that I grew up with. I got a lot of relatives, some in the church, some not. And if I find out somebody took my relative life going to buy milk, somebody better get him. Somebody better get him. Because see, if you don't, people going to start saying, we got it. We got it. People not just going to let you do stuff. I don't care what color you are. It's going to let you take family members and keep on eating hamburgers? You out your mind? When we got a scripture in Genesis that said a man that takes a life will give his life for that life. Now that's the God you got to stand before. So you be cautious, and so will I, about what you say. Because Romans 13 says they work for God, and He created the system. Be careful if you want to make it to heaven. Because that's who you going to call when somebody trying to kick your door in and they don't have a badge. See, that's what this lesson is about. I hope you came prepared to accept it, because that's exactly what it's about. Look at Proverbs Chapter 4. See, we're Christians, so we don't talk like the White House. We don't talk like those in the outhouse. At least if you still want to profess Christianity. We don't talk like mom and daddy, cousin, Ned. We don't talk like the churches that lay claim to belong to God with all different names of mountains. And we don't talk like churches of Christ that lock their doors and tell saints don't worship, stay home. We talk like this book if you're a Christian. And so the message usually makes everybody mad except the righteous. That's why they killed Jesus. You have political men killed him. You had holy men. They were holy till they killed him. And then you had followers of both saying, give us Barabbas. All in agreement. Why was the disciples scared and saying, I don't even know who he is? So Jesus is repulsive. He makes everybody mad if you don't smell like him. He stinks. He reeks of God's scent. But if you recognize you're the one that needs to take the bath and me, then you say, I want to smell like that. See, it's no way you can notice before. It's no way you can notice before. It has to be taught. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Now that's the text. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. So you can have all the wisdom you want, but if you don't understand it, you won't apply it properly. You fall on the sword because it's very sharp. Look at Hebrews 11, verse number 1. The Bible says, now faith, isn't that amazing, is the substance of things hoped for. So if you say I have faith, the substance of faith is why you hoping that Christ is going to come and settle things. But you have to understand something. If Jesus came right now, he's going to have a problem with people that burnt stuff down that didn't belong to them. See, I want the Lord to come and rescue, but he won't be rescuing you if you burnt something down. See, that's why nobody really likes it. That's why it was so easy. All I have to do is lock the church door, because people in their mind are saying, I didn't really want to go talk to him anyway. I really only call him when I need something. And most of the time he don't do what I say. I'm not very fond of him, so keep it locked. Keep it locked. I'll buy a blessing from him when I tithe, which is not even in the scriptures to do so. Yeah, that's how a lot of people think. See, now, if you're thinking like that, so, man, I'm glad he tagged me. Thank you, Jesus. I'm dropping that thought. He says, the evidence of things I say, if you want evidence of what you can't see, it is based upon faith. So what is your faith in? The words, if they're not in the Bible, you are wasting your time, because it's not going to happen. Verse 6, but without faith, so if you lack that, if I lack it, it is impossible to please him. You know, you rather see the word impossible in the Bible. It's a rare word. And when you see it, take note, because it means it cannot and it will not happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not about, am I going to get mercy? Without faith, it's impossible to please. So without faith, you will not get mercy at the judgment. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is. So you can't help people telling you there's no God. It's the God within us. It's the yin and the yang, the universe. No. See, if you come like that, guaranteed you'll spend the rest of your life. And let me keep reminding you, you do not go to sleep. That's talking about the body. You don't go to sleep in hell. Read Luke 16. You're wide awoke. Eyes wide shut. You do not sleep. He says, and that he is a reward of them that diligently seek. After diligently seek him. Now we're going to get into a lesson that will be pleasant for the righteous and very uncomfortable for those who do not see God. We're going to talk about several groups. And we're going to be time to believe that. Michael B. Curry, the bishop. Looters, hypocrites, peaceful protesters, Candace Owens, wow. Officer Derek Chauvin, supporting officers on the scene of the murder of Mr. George Floyd, and President Donald Trump, as well as all political leaders, both in America and the world. And you say, well, who are you to say that? Well, ask John. He taught me. Because he told the king of the area, you should not have your brother's wife. Who is he to get into the president, the king of the area? Probably. That's what gospel preachers do. That's what we do. We get in everybody's cooler and we make sure ours has the right amount of sugar and water. We get into it. And you have to kill us to stop us. And how they stop John? They killed him. But they forgot. Oh, there's another one coming behind him. And then there's Jesus greater than him. We'll kill him too. And then he rose from the dead. Isn't that amazing? See, so you cannot stop the message. And you will be tagged. And the people that will tag you, they are not scared to die. And guess what? They're not scared to lose anything. Because a lot of our problems, if you lose it for my sake, I'll give it back to you here. And guess what I'm going to give you in the word come? He says, life everlasting. You got to kill a saint to stop him. Because he's unstoppable. She's unstoppable. Because there is no fear that they can comprehend. So, you say, well, who is the Michael B. Curry? Listen, let me tell you about this guy. Because, see, he speaks for the religious world. Yes, he does. Because he's the same religious leader. He's over all the Methodists in the region. That is, he is the president of the Methodist Church. He's the bishop of bishops. Isn't that amazing? And he's African American. Oh, now this is going to really make it clear. See, because he speaks for the religious world. Yes, he does. Because he has done exactly what they've done. And he's done what many of your brethren have done. Lock up the church. Well, I want to share something with you. See, when you live in a glass house, throw all the rocks outside. See, because somebody going to throw one back. That's just the way it is. Michael B. Curry accused President Trump of using the church. He said when he went to church, oh yeah, pull the newsreel up. Pull up the name, pull the newsreel up, and you're going to say. So he accused another human being of using the church. So see, he's saying he's a Christian. Well, I got to talk to you like you're a Christian. No, I'm convinced he's not. But you saying, Clay, so I'm a Christian. I got to teach you like you one of the saints. Because you keep saying you are. So you accuse another human being, who I want to point out is white. Now watch this. Of going to church to use the church. Now, most people criticize leaders because they don't talk about God. But here's a guy who's had a prayer on TV, led by a black man, while he sat and listened to a black man pray. And then he goes to church with a Bible and he's criticized. Now you see politics. They're going to criticize a man. But you got to at least the guy went to church. So he says he used the church. Well, I'll show you something with you. Did he forget? He used the church as a hireling. He's a bishop, but he's a hireling. He ran. He is as unfaithful a shepherd as can be. He prevented the sheep from at least seeking God. See, Jesus said, I have other sheep that are not his fault. So you can't stop the sheep from seeking God, because at some point they're going to come across the Christian that's going to tell them, okay, you've been doing good going to church, but you're going in the wrong place. Let me see what you need to do. But he said, no, you don't need to eat none. Don't eat none concerning God. Watch him on TV. But wait a minute, watch this. He stopped it collectively. See, we're told to collect. Michael B. Curry is with the Episcopalian Church. Forgive me, I said Methodist. Forgive me, Episcopalian Church. Forgive me, Methodist. A man-made organization. He judged the soul of another man by saying it's wrong the way the president has made the nation recognize his faith in God. See, he was showing you that's my faith in God. So somebody pulled Mr. Trump aside and eventually tell him the rest of the truth if he hadn't already heard, and say, okay, they need to be baptized. He said, but he's being accused. See, I'm judging his heart now. He used her. So you Jesus, Mr. Curry, you're not Jesus. You can't judge hearts. This takes courage for any man to do, to go to church as a world leader and hold up a Bible. I had a guy send me a picture of Hitler holding up the Bible and put it on the Trump. He sent me a picture. He's a guy I know. I'm in the church. And I sent it back. I said, brother, at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let word be established. I said, I don't believe he's trying to be Hitler. He sent me a thumbs up later. Then he sent it again to me. I'm not going to respond. Brother, go ahead. Be what you're going to be. Be what you're going to be. This brother used to be an elder in the church. Be what you're going to be, because God going to judge them. See, where am I? If I hold up a Bible, you're going to put Hitler over top of me? Think about it. So what is the lesson about? Mercy, judgment, justice, and equity. See, if you don't know what you're doing with this mouth, the words come up at the judgment against you. This is supposed to be a religious leader. He is the leader of all the bishops in the Episcopalian Church. Isn't that amazing? This is their leader. And there shouldn't be no such thing as a leader above that. Because the Catholics are criticized having a pope. This is the same thing. It's amazing. This is so amazing. But yet the TV camera gave him plenty of time to talk as long as he wanted. Isn't that amazing? Does that not trouble your spirit? Listen. This individual is a practitioner as all false teachers throughout the world in error. Jesus did not tell the Roman centurion, you are using me just to heal your servant. He didn't say that. What did he say? Let's look at Matthew 8. Matthew 8. Verse number 5. Did Jesus tell the man that? You just use me, you just want your servant healed. Matthew 8:5. And when Jesus entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. Now listen, this is a Roman leader of a group that may have a history of busting people in the head. Because John already had to tell them, look, don't false accuse. They must have had a history of it. Don't abuse and be happy with your wages. He's a leader of this group. Jesus said to them, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, verse 8, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come. Now, that's not a Jew. It didn't say a proselyte. Do not make this guy a proselyte. Absolutely no, friend. He's a police leader. That's what he is. So you have to understand the Roman system. Some countries use soldiers as policemen. You have to understand the system. Your system is based on it. In America, it mirrors this type of system. So you have to, this is a policeman. A leader of policemen. And a high level one. He says, I'm not worried that you should come under my roof. But speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. Look at this face. You don't have to come. You don't have to come. Just say it. Because I already know who y'all, but I'm a policeman. I thought policeman. There's a policeman? He's not a proselyte. He's not a Jew. For I am under authority. He said, I'm a man under authority. Having souls on me. I got somebody over me. I got souls on me. And I say to this man, go, and he go, and to another, come, and he coming, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth that. So the Lord said, the man says, and the Lord has Matthew right, I run stuff. I tell people what to do. And so he knows, I know you can tell my servant be healed. Because I know you have that kind of control. I tell people to do things, they tell me to do things. He already letting you know, we not legit in a lot of cases. We do some crazy stuff. And I'm not worried. I'm not a holy man. I'm not nothing, but I know you are, and you can hear. So what does Jesus say? You just using me to gain glory, to move up in the Roman army. You're just trying to promote yourself. He doesn't say anything. Somebody say, well, that wasn't his heart. Does Michael B. Curry know the heart of Trump? See, so that's poor judgment. I'm going to tell you why he made that poor judgment in a minute. Verse 10. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said unto them that followed. This is to his disciples too. Look what he tells them. Truly I say unto you, I have not found so great a faith. No, not in. That's you too, Peter, John, sons of Zebedee, none of y'all, and Matthew who writing. I haven't seen none of y'all believe me like this. I haven't seen none of y'all believe me like this. Isn't that amazing? And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom are the church of Christ. That's what he's talking about. So it'd be the same way you would apply today. The church of Christ. The holy Jews. These are outward Jews to be the kingdom, and we are Jews inwardly, Romans 2. So you insert here but the church of Christ, he said, the children of shall be cast on the outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's why he teaches that in Matthew 7:21. Because you can't cast out a demon and do many wonderful works and prophesy in the Lord's name unless you're a member of the church of Christ. So that's why what the Lord tells Ezekiel, start at my house. When you start whooping folks, start at my house. Because that's where the problem began. Not all, but it starts there. See, that's the problem. And you have to accept that. Judgment, justice, equity, and mercy. If you lack these and they're easily obtainable, it's because you don't really want them. And I don't want them. Jesus answered the centurion, go thy way. And as thou hast believed, so it be done unto thee. And the servant was healed in the self-same hour. Look at that. What faith. A policeman? A guy that tell folks that they so scared, they go and they tell him go and he run. He's under the system of Herod and all that, and the great Caesars. But he says, I know who you are. And I know, like I can tell people go, you can say that because you have the authority here. So what's the problem here, Ozan? Well, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. One of the things you have to accept, brethren, is that when people are wrong, they're just about wrong. Listen to this. Michael B. Curry, or Michael Bruce Curry, is an American bishop who is the 27th and current president, bishop, and primate of the Episcopal Church. Elected in 2015, he is the first African American to receive as president bishop in the Episcopal Church. He was previously the bishop of the Diocese of North Carolina. He's over all of it now. So now watch this. Look at the power that he has. So you say, well, why you say? Well, I'm going to show you. With such power, what is the situation? They teach infant baptism. When we baptize infants. So so you're going to judge. Well, that's why you judge a person's heart, because you don't know how to teach the truth. So you judge an innocent man's heart, and you make yourself the Lord. Listen. You cannot let the devil win. I want to read something for you. If you didn't think he didn't lock the church, you may say, well, they're not the true believers. It doesn't matter. If people are seeking God and they think you can resist, you're supposed to keep talking about God till you can finally say, well, hey, wait a minute. We don't even do this part. Y'all, we doing something wrong. If you stay in the book and you keep reading, you eventually see yourself. It's like you look in the mirror, you eventually see, I got something on my eye on the right side corner. You got to keep looking. So what does he say? No, we're not doing that. So what does he say? On the evening of March 11, 2020, presiding Bishop Michael Curry shared the following message with the Bishop of the Episcopal Church. Dear sisters and brothers, we are facing an unprecedented challenge with COVID-19 outbreak, which the World Health Organization, WHO, has just deemed a pandemic. In this context, bishops having charge of a diocese have my support as president bishop if, in light of the public health situation in their diocese, they decide for a designated period of time to suspend the administration of the common cup, that's the Lord's Supper, to the congregation and the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist, and or to cancel in-person gathering for the public worship. I encourage you in the event of cancellation of these public gatherings to use technology to offer worship. Is that in the Bible? That's why you judge another man's heart. That's why you got caught up in the black-white issue as if there's no other race. There's Latinos. Man, I can't even tell you how many people there exist. So you got caught up in it. And you judge a guy's heart because you're political. Therefore, you're rejected by God. You're reprobate. You're a reject. All your works, he told Timothy, write to him, are rejected. That's what. Let's go pick on him. We're not picking on anybody. We're just talking about the truth. Michael B. Curry needs to repent for his sin and preventing men from worshiping God. Listen at what this deceiver told the people. What did Acts 20 and 7 say? See, we're going to deal with this right. And then we're going to be through and have another part. We got to have a part. There's so much sin going on. Acts 27. And upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul preached unto them, read to the Parliament of Mara, and continued his speech until midnight. That's the example. Do we really have to do this? Is it really necessary? Well, let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Now, this is Corinthian written by Paul, not Michael B. Curry. Corinthian written by Paul. I said, why are you talking about that? Because he's a religious world leader. That's why. He's listened to. And the news, nationwide news, gave him a moment to be a politician. And he took it. And he judged another human being made by God's heart and said he's using the church. Now, I didn't say that, and I am a gospel preacher. I am blood bought by the blood. I can validate my walk in Christ by how it started and where it's at now. Pull up anything you want on me, you'll not find nothing that I'm repented of. So, why did I judge his heart? Because I'm trying to go to heaven. That's why. That's the difference. It's a different route we're on. 1 Corinthians 11:26. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he come. Then he say, look at verse 25. It's not good. This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do you as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. Look at the bread. Verse 24. Same thing. Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. What did Paul say in verse 23? For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you. The Lord Jesus saying that which you betrayed took bread. So Paul didn't say, but because of whatever going on, there's options. There's options. Electron. So what would we have? Now remember, Jesus Christ is saying yesterday, today, and forever. So what would we have done since how there were not as such sophisticated electronics when there was the Black Plague, which wiped out 1/3 of all the population of Europe? That's a lot, 1/3 of a whole section of the world. So what was they going to do? So what happened? What do you think what they did? I guarantee some same from the church. So what would be the electronic use? What we use for electronic if they told us Dr. Bill in the 13th century? No telephone out there yet? TV or radio? Isn't that something? So see, Jesus Christ is either not the same yesterday and forever and today, or either he is, so you have to worship. See, this is the problem with evil men waxing worse and worse. And I want to make sure we understand. Look at 2 Timothy 3. What's the problem with the world? Now you see why the Lord sent a plague, and now you see there's another plague. What was the other plague after the pandemic? The police started turning on the people at a higher rate. And what's the other plague hitting? The people have turned against the police. Do you think it's going to get better? Now let's see. Now Paul should give us hope. 2 Timothy 3:13. Now here's the hope. Let's see if it gets better. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Wow, it's going to get worse. I told you all at the beginning of the year, the Lord could wipe this nation out with a disease. And look at what's happening. We've gone back to work as far as humans, and the numbers are climbing like a bottle rocket. You have crime uncontrolled. A policeman so nervous he doesn't know what to do. Do I shoot? Do I let him shoot me? Do you know Miss Gibson has a large family of daughters and a son that he loves? So should I tell him, Gibson, let him run? And if he run and he rape your daughter, then try to but it's not a crime. You're shooting for. So you're the police. You're Jesus now. But Romans 13, let's see why does he have the weapon? Why does he? Well, let's see what Romans 13 says. See, people say, I come to church to hear about Jesus. You hear about Jesus. This is Jesus. This is Jesus' word. Romans 13, look what he says. He's clear. Does he have the weapon because he needs something to hold his pockets down? Absolutely not. What does he have a weapon for? What is his purpose? Why? Verse 1, let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. I believe that's clear. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resists the power resists the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive themselves down there. So look what the Lord said. When you resist, the Lord says, if you got away, I'm putting you in hell. So you got away, you shot a policeman, you shot at him with a taser gun, you got away, you ran, you raped somebody, I can do whatever, and you get nobody catch you, and then when you die, the Lord says, you're going to hell. So you're going to hell is much worse than dying, because all of us die if the Lord doesn't return. And not many people know that if you resist the police, you're put in hell. How many people knew that? Did you know that? Just think, did you know that? That's as just important as faith, repentance, confession, and baptism. You will receive damnation through resistance. but I don't go to church anyway. And I'm in the wrong church when I do go. I don't care what you and nobody say, Ozan. That's fine, because I'm not my flesh and nothing to God anyway, just another person. But at the judgment, you find out you really do go to hell for doing this. Verse 3, for rulers are not a terror to do good work. He said, I didn't create them to be a terror to good work, but to the evil. Without then not be afraid of the power? He said, you're not afraid? Do that which is good and also have the praise of the saint. So, if a policeman walks up to you and tells you, hey, I need to talk to you, you're not afraid? The Lord said, then you're not scared of me. That's what he said. You're not scared of me. For he is the minister of God. Wow. You know, we've been talking about this for years. I heard about this stuff when I wasn't even in a church. My dad just tell me, man, this is what the policeman say now. Unless he calls you to do something evil, tell you to do something crooked. It's the book. To thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, what does the Lord say? Run. Shoot him with a taser gun. Be afraid. For he bare not the sword in vain. He is the minister of God and revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. He says, that's why I hide him. Now this is pathetic. When a religious leader can't keep his mouth in check, and then everybody starts rising up. Al Sharpton, one of the most devious men on the earth, made by God, all manner of wickedness coming out of his mouth. I watched him not even be able to judge homosexuality. He's a politician. Ask a point blank question about it and can't judge it. He want to beat up Joel Osteen, beat him up too. I can't tell you what's the truth about homosexuality because I am not a Christian. I'm a pretender. I'm an actor. The word hypocrite sounds so mean, and it is, but it just means actor. I'm pretending. I'm pretending. But I don't have scriptures to back, but I'm pretending. Listen. We're going to grab one more and then we're going to wrap it up. This man is a mirror image of what the world does not understand. Many of us on the earth sympathize with looters. We did. I saw a guy trying to explain. It's an African American, like I am, and he's trying to explain to the news people why stuff is going on. They're angry. They're tired. So what if his neighbor gets angry and tired of him, and they get in an argument about him cutting near his yard? So, you know, he called him a name, he come out with a gun and shoot. His wife would be all about, call the police for what? What the policeman say? Well, every time we come, y'all want to whoop us, so figure it out. Well, just start doing that. Oh, no, see, when we need, no. You can't have it both ways. I'm just saying, no, don't just say. Judgment, justice, mercy, and equity. Those are the words that take four-corner look at our lives before the law, and he will say, nah, I can't let you in. It's not going to be. He could show you the replay. See, look what you're saying. Look what you told your grandmama. You don't run nothing but your mouth, and walked out and slammed the door. Remember, see, that she was finna tell you something else too, but after that, I got tired of dealing with you. That's why you going to hell. I just got tired of it. But she not even a believer. Yeah, I know that, but she believed that part. You should have listened. What's the matter with us? People who destroy police cars, you try to explain with kind words. Look at Proverbs 3. Do you know that if you burn down a police station, something is wrong with you? You don't think something wrong? Now, the question would be, is that the police? Now, see, you know what's sad? It's not acceptable, but it would be explainable if you grab the 4 officers and try to hurt them. But you got some guys that may have been in there, they may have just got through praying and saying, Lord, help that everybody understand, want to do what you say. What if Gibson gets killed? What if Mitchell? We have other policemen too that are members of this congregation that just don't go to church no more. I know, because Gibson got them baptized. Be surprised. And what will you do if somebody shoots? So what are you going to do if someone shoots Mitch Gibson in the back and kills him while he's getting gas like the other officer? Is it justified? Well, no. Are you going to judge? Maybe he killed somebody and I told y'all. Maybe the Lord paying it back. Oh, you're going to judge now. When Michael B. Kerr, you're going to judge. Huh? See, that's what's wrong. That's why we're Christians and the world is not. That's the problem. So Proverbs 3:29. Devise not evil against thy neighbor. Now that's definitely your neighbor. See, because the Bible, I was listening to Brother Frias' message from Wednesday night, and he said that God said a neighbor is going to take your wives, David. And Brother Frias pointed out the neighbor was his son Absalom. Is that a lie? Well, that's right. Even though it's his son, it's still his neighbor. Poor David, God help him. He learned the hard way, man. You can't go taking people's wife, getting them pregnant and then killing them because they won't fall for your scheme of making them think it's his baby. He don't even know what you're doing. He's just trying to be faithful to Joab, who's another backstabber who kills him. But God took care of him. You know how angry God was at Joab? He held on to the horns of the altar. And Solomon said, well, just kill him right there. We'll wipe the altar up later. We'll clean it. And God said, yes, get him. See, when God manages, he'll kill you in the church house. When you do it physically, he'll just take your breath spiritually. And you'll worship every day and may preach from a pulpit. And will be nowhere closer to heaven than the walk began. He says, seeing he dwelleth secure by. See, the police department secure. I'm secure by you, man. We're not bothering you. That's those crooked guys. Verse 30, strive not with a man without cause. What am I doing to you? I came to make sure the protest would be peaceful and that people who want to go buy milk can come by. So in Seattle, what are you doing? We've took over the whole city in 4-block plus area and barricaded. And the police are standing there. We'll only come in if we hear a gunshot. God don't even know what to do now. Why? Why does the police know what to do? Because you're the same, and listen to me good, we're almost done. You're the same policeman that tried to tell the saints of God, if you go to church, I'm going to put you in jail. That's why you don't know what to do. So now, a guy sleeping in a restaurant drive-thru, which he can't even purchase, possibly, and he sleep in a car, assumedly drunk, possibly they thought, and when they take him out, he starts to fight not one but two policemen. And then as they tase him, they could have got the gun out right there and just film him, but they take the taser, and he takes the taser, knocks them down, runs and turns back and shoots the taser at them, which is supposed to be a deadly weapon. You got to know what you're doing with it. And they shoot him. Somebody said, well, I could have gone somewhere. Don't worry. If I can't catch him, do I just let him go? He got away with my taser. What if he wants to rouse some? I'm going to rouse some. Put a taser. So somebody say, well, you don't know what he did. That's right. What did God say in Romans 13? If you resist, you're going to hell. So what do you think? I resist. So is God not right? If you resist, you're going to hell. See, that's why people hate Christianity. It's a white man religion, says certain groups. Because I hate it. Because it's too much like Jesus. That's the problem with it, man. It's a problem. So see, now, if you had shut your mouth and told your mayors and your governors, I'm not arresting nobody for going to church. I'm telling you, no, dude. That's it. I'm turning my head and look the other way. Isn't that amazing? But since you thought you had some power, now you're powerless. You don't even know what to do. You don't know if to shoot. You don't know if to run. You don't know if to hit. Now see, if somebody had have looked at the individual and saw him rising like that, and then now for God just said, well, I'm going to rise up with two big fists of mine, and we're going to just plummet his face into hamburger so we don't have to kill him. It's nothing you can do. Because see, the pandemic is a pestilence, but plague means strikings. See, God is striking people now. You policemen, you shouldn't have told my people not to go to church. Move. You don't know what to do now. Police chief resigns. Move. Because you're listening to your stupid mayor talking about arresting people going to church. People protesting, looting, running out with a big screen. Okay, that's going to plead your cause. He ran out with a big screen, so now we'll change the laws, right? You think that makes sense? He ran out with 2 TVs, one under each arm. That makes us wrong. If he stole 2 TVs, we must be wrong. It's madmen. So what does the law do? You're not going to go to church? I'm going to strike you. I'm going to let them shoot you. You don't do what I'm saying. You're calling to me for justice. My son died for you, and you didn't even go and thank me because you were scared I wasn't going to protect your life. What did the Lord tell Israel? You calling on me now? You know what he said? Why don't you call on Chemosh, your God you've been worshiping? You don't think God telling the world it? Why don't you call on Milcom, the God you've been worshiping? Look the names up. I said, who is that? Well, you ought to come to church mode if you don't know. Look the names up. That's God. That Israel were. Solomon worshiped all the gods of his many wild women he had. He started out just building them a little church house for them to worship. And then, the next going to say, you love her more than me. I understand you, Solomon. Always up in here, pressing on me. What about my God? And then all of a sudden they start pressing on, come on, go to church with me, baby. You can believe what you want, but go to church with me, baby. And God got so mad, he said, I'm taking the kingdom. He said, but not in your lifetime, I'm letting you know. When you die, your son not going to get the kingdom. I'm only going to give you one kingdom to run because of David. You so wicked, I'm not going to even give it to you. Now you see why Solomon started writing. I'm young, I'm old. I figured it out. Serve God, fear him, keep his commandments. I figured it out. Now you're not going to be smarter than him. No, man. He's the wisest man ever made. Who knows said that? God and Jesus both agree. He's the wisest one we made. There'll never be another one like him. So as we wrap up, listen. The Bible's telling us what to do. Why? He says in verse 31, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. The Lord said, don't envy him. Don't envy him. He's an oppressor. So whether the government is oppressing, whether the church members are oppressing by saying, see, they oppress the saints. Your brethren oppress the saints. And said, we the leaders believe that it is not necessary to gather anymore, but that's in the Bible. They used to teach, don't go to church watching TV. Same preachers, just like Paul Jones at Northwest South Church. I watched him preach. He couldn't have forgotten, because he remembered me at one funeral. How did he remember me and forget God? And he said, you can't go to church on TV. I remember him preaching it. With a nice suit on. He said, and send your offering in. You got to bring it. But it's different now. Now, they used to say, Jack Evans Sr., baptism was the portal into the church. But it's different now. Well, it's different now. But I'm going to tell you something. It don't matter if David changed the law. God let him know, nah, I can't give you another man's wife. So I got to handle you now. I got to handle you, man. People going to be dying in your family. All kind of stuff going on. David said at the end of his life, he said, righteousness, righteous men. He said, houses in so many words, a cellar. He said, but mine is not like that. He said, but God had gave me mercy. But my house is tore up from the floor up. He recognized I blew it. One critical area for flesh, and now both of them dead. Was it worth it, David? No. That's why I tell him, no, it wasn't worth it. Many of us will punish businesses because we want to show companies they cannot make it without our money. Watch this. There's another area. Some of you are telling people that they should not buy from companies who will support President Trump. So what if I go to the store and they start asking me, you support Trump? You don't? What if I say yes or no, either one? And they go, well, you can't buy nothing in here. I need some milk, man. Please leave, sir. I'm going to call the same police that shoot folks. Better get out of here. That's not the answer. It doesn't matter who thought. It doesn't matter if a saint, if I'd have came up with it. It doesn't matter. It's unjustifiable. Why? Because these people, you can't validate if they are against you or for you. So now you can't vote for who you want? And this is so silly. You're a hypocrite, an actor. I'm a pretender to justice, mercy, judgment, and I pretend. Why? I'm not saying this in support of Trump. I'm not saying I'm not telling support. I'm not no politician or supporting them. I'm saying this to help you not sin against God. We all have the right to cast a vote for whoever we want. Each candidate has similar and different ideas anyway. What if these companies rose up and did that and said, we're not going to sell to nobody? What if they look at your skin and say, what color is it? He's coming to buy a burger. What color is it? No, tell him no. Tell him no. We do not understand. We cannot get away with this type of behavior. However, if you've forgotten the teaching of God, you cannot say an action is wrong and then do the same thing. This makes you a hypocrite. And this is it. We're going to end right here. Romans chapter 2. See, now this is the book. This is the book. Yeah, you supposed to speak up for those who are downtrodden. We know the book. It's the way you got to do it. Romans chapter 2 verse 1. Therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art, that judgest. For wherein thou judge another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judges does the same thing. It's the same thing. Say, we want to show them our financial power. That's fine. If you know this is somebody who, if somebody stands up and say, I hate race blank. I despise that God made them. I hate that I have to sell them my stuff. I wish they would all die and never come into my place. Okay, you say, okay, man, this guy's pretty tough. We might have to not buy that from him. Anybody say that? You burn down Wendy's. Now where you going to get a burger from now? See, it's like, okay, now I got a job. I used to be a man. I used to work at Wendy's. So now I can't go to work. They got to figure out if they're going to pay me or not, send me to somewhere else. I'm scared they're going to burn that one down. I can't go to work. So now you heard me. What's for a call? What kind of cause? Did the hamburger people beat up the guy? See, and now God has to say, you know, you were doing good till you did it. I was with you. I was going to bless you. And now Satan came to me and said, well, you know I got to eat his blessing. Give me his blessing of hamburger. Give me, because it's mine now. See, because the devourer gets eat. He gets, oh, you was going to give him that car and the helping need for his grandma. Can I have that? I'm very hungry. I want to eat his. So the devil gets to eat. You don't get nothing. Now you're mad at God. It's tough being a Christian, but you're not a Christian. Because you punished your neighbor unjustified. Diana. I don't really know why I'm here. Diana. Book of Acts. I don't even know why I'm here though. He says, verse 2, but we are sure that judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. And thinkest thou this, O man, that judges them which do such things and doest the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of God? I think God not going to know that. I told you when we started, it's footage of us. It's footage, and you know what else? That's footage of our heart that no man knows. That's footage of what we forgot. You ever watch sometime they play a politician back? They say, I never said that. And they play him back, and on June 1st, they go, rank, they play it back, you know, like, I would like to do this. I say, is that you? Well, I changed my mind, but why didn't you tell us? See, I got you. I got footage of it. He says, or despisest thou the riches of his goodness? Do you hate his goodness and forbearance? Don't you know he's letting us live for a reason? And long suffering? Not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance? But after thy hardness and impertinent heart, treasure up with thyself, unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath. So you got wrath against it. They say you're making him mad. And revelation of the righteous judgment of God has been revealed, who will render to every man according to his deed, to them who by patient continuance and well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. But unto them that are contention and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. That's what you get from the law. Tribulation and anguish. This is in this world. You get this now. It's not just the world to come. Upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also the Gentile. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first and also to the Gentile. For there is no respect of person with God. See, God not prejudiced. You don't care what color you are. If you got to go to hell, you got to go. If you're going to heaven, come on in. So you have to understand, you got to make a decision. What do you want to do? You want to be like these people? making up rules as they go, unable to judge. Now, I told you, it's going to get worse. You know why it's going to get worse? Because me ain't going to get worse. It's not going to get better. What did the Lord tell Jeremiah? Look, man, if Samuel and Moses had asked me for what you asked me for, they would have only delivered themselves. I'm not delivering this generation of Jews. I want them cast from my sight. Why was he telling them that? Because he's going to go and tell them the Lord's going to scatter you. So go tell them, Jeremiah. He said, don't come crying me about these people. I don't want to hear it. And then guess what Jeremiah found out? One day he came to the Lord said, you know they want to kill you, right? Jeremiah found they wanted to kill him. Yeah, they want to kill him. He said, but Lord, you know all the time. I know. And still, they're going to snuff you out. I don't do so. And you know what Jeremiah said? Kill them all. Tear their houses down. And get rid of their children because they are evil. Because they want to kill me. And all I did was tell them what you said. Jeremiah started feeling the heat of God. The heat that he's been dealing with since Adam to now. People like us. See, judgment, justice, mercy, and equity, it has to be first dealt with in the house of God, and then it goes abroad. Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the world. That's got to always start with us. If you're not a member of the church, it's time to get baptized. I don't know what we're waiting on. You listen to the message, press the triangle to the right. Because wherever you in, Zimbabwe, no matter where you at, Russia, you Putin's cousin, it doesn't matter. You don't mean nothing to God. He made you and Putin. You need to make a decision if I will get baptized. Because you're sure going to die lost in these fake churches. Big cathedrals, false teachers, doors locked, buildings empty, nothing but rats, roaches, and bugs running through it now. Nobody trying to seek God. Churches of Christ led the nation in locking doors. Highland Heights, Fifth Ward, after a couple of weeks, nervousness hit. What about the old people? Lock the doors. What does that say? God can't keep them alive. Wow. And you going to heaven? I don't think so. Not according to this judgment. If you're here, you're not a member of the church, what do you recognize? Jesus died. He was buried the third day, rose again. See, this is readable. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. So what does he mean? He that believes and is baptized shall be saved. Mark 16, 16. He that believes not shall be damned. If you don't believe that, and you don't be baptized, you're lost. That's what he means. Do we believe that still? Some on the earth do. Hopefully this whole group. See, the reality of judgment is God doesn't change. But we can always obtain mercy if we do what he said. He has instruction. So when Peter preached in Acts chapter 2, can you imagine telling the whole Jewish nation on one of their holiest days, they have 3 of them, you all are all lost. When they ask, what shall we do? Acts 2:37, he says, repent and be baptized. What is that? There's one group like, what do you mean be baptized? There's another group like, I've already been baptized by John. But both groups have to be baptized again. Why? Because you didn't stick with us. My count, Peter would say, is 119, and me, that's 120. You on the other side. Cross over. Like they did in Jordan. For the remission of sins, and you receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. You don't get him any other way. So Michael B. Kerr thinks, well, you can get him and put water on his baby. Okay, well, see, that's why I won't judge him in heart. Because I don't know what I'm doing. That's the problem. So we have to understand that, and we have to believe that. If you do, God will rescue. He says, for the promise unto you and to your children and all that are far, even as many as the Lord our God shall call. And with many other words did he testify and encourage them. Save yourself, which means they're lost, from this untoward, which means crooked generation. Then they glad receive his word, baptized, the same thing. 3,000 souls added unto them. And what they continue in the apostles' doctrine, the breaking of bread, and in prayers. And what did the Lord do? The Lord, see, he adds it to the church daily. Such should be saved. Acts 2:47. There's one word in Acts 2:42 that's important. The fellowship. You know what that means? 1 John chapter 1 tells us. Read the entire chapter. To walk in the light, not like Ozan, not like grandma, but as Christ is in the light. So you follow Jesus. He says, if you do, you have fellowship one with another. So if you walk in the light as Christ, you're looking at Jesus, I'm looking at Jesus, that's how we look at each other. We're in fellowship with each other. But you're looking at Jesus, and I'm looking at somebody else following them, we're not in fellowship. No matter if I come to the building. It has to be from the heart. We have to understand that. The eunuch wants to get baptized. That's not impressive just to want. it's impressive to do. So he sees the water. Well, then Philip has to tell him. He has no idea what to do. He says, if you believe with all your heart, you may. So until he acknowledges, Philip's not going to baptize. And then even after, Philip doesn't know. But God knows. Stops the chariot, baptized, and he rejoices. It's pretty obvious the guy is safe. He seems to have done it right. And Philip is taken away. Isn't that amazing? It saves a soul. 1 Corinthians 12:13 says, for by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body. What is one body? The church, Colossians 1:18. Whether you're Jew or Gentile, bond or friend, have all been made to drink into one Spirit, if you believe that. So does it say 1 Peter 3:21, the like figure wine to even baptism is also non-savor, not to putting away the filth of the flesh, but the answer for good conscience to our God. By the resurrection of Jesus Christ is going to heaven. Angels, authorities, and powers being made subject unto him. The same Jesus says in Revelation 2:10, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Be faithful to death. Some of us in prison. Some of us scared to go. First we were scared to go out because of disease. Now you're scared to go out because of people pulling off stuff, blocking roads. I went through town the other day and I was like, my goodness, man, your house is nothing going on today. You don't know. Amen. Prison. But be faithful to death. Where you at on Sunday? Church. Faithful to death. What you do when they say, hey, throw this Molotov cocktail? No, man, I'm not touching that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. God shoots out a policeman. There you go. They deserve it. Uh-oh. He heard it. It's recorded. It'll come out the judgment. See, this is what Christianity does. All nations flow into it. All nations. All nations. You know, if you stand with the Lord, he will rescue. If you don't, it is impossible to please him. He's telling you it's impossible. You can't come up with a formula. So when the denominational churches, along with their governors, their lords, their rulers, their princes, their presidents, stood up and said, nobody gonna go to church, the saints said, amen. Isn't that amazing? When did we ever do what the world said to do? And then when we gather, you can wear any man, you come in with a spacesuit on. But I don't have an authority to tell you, you can't hug. That's not my authority. See, because God may be saying, I'm going to see if this brother really loves his sister to risk his life to hug. I'm going to watch. But if Ozan keeps his mouth shut and don't say nothing, they will. And so Ozan said, don't hug, because the governor said. But I went to the grocery store and I'm a foot from this girl's mouth. I don't know what she is and what she been doing. To get milk that goes out the draught. It was a lie when it started. So keep your TV on, because it's not through yet. Because God is really mad. And guess who really made God mad? The saints of God. Because he was looking to say, okay, the light is not even on because they locked the doors. If you need to be baptized, come now. If you need prayer, come now. But together we stand, sing heaven's invitation. And free 'tis for you. Better haste, oh haste to his spring. 'Tis a fountain. Maybe seated. Love from the source above, and he bids us all freely drink. Will you come to